let's get into this collective reading for Cancer. I just kind of want to get right into it, but I'm going to take a second here to think of what tarot deck is going to work best here. I want to remind everyone that collective readings are for the collective. They're not only for you. So, if you feel like you are not resonating with some of the things in the reading, then that is okay. That means that part of the reading is just not for you, and don't take it. Take it with a grain of salt, everything I say. And half the time, it's just nice listening to someone chit-chat for a little bit, so if you want to hear me, as the kids say, yap, I'm still remembering a time where my younger brother schooled someone like 3 times their age, calling them a yappuccino, and I just... Sorry. Anyway, so if you want to hear me yap, you could just use these as for what it is. These will be uploaded to YouTube if you miss out on anything, and the VODs will be there unmuted, but Twitch only keeps the VODs for 30 days, so it's why I upload it on YouTube. And if you're not sure what reading we are on when we are in the live part, it will be up here. So any of the names that are faded out are ones that we haven't read. Any names that you will see possibly like green, or I may just put a little check mark. I may just find a little icon check mark thing and just say like, hey, we got it, or like strike through. I don't know, I'll find something for it. We're working as we go. This is a new kind of thing I'm introducing to my streams. So what does Cancer need to hear? Cancer and the Crow. So we pull from one tarot deck, we pull 3 cards, and then for each of those cards, I will pull 3 clarifier cards. So it essentially becomes like a 12-card reading, but it's a more elaborate 9-card reading. And then I think I'd like to clarify with this deck, and then, ooh, Okay. So we have these very different themed decks, you could say. And they're both, I would say, very dreamy, but this one's very dreamy in the sense of like it's shiny and stuff. Shing, shing, shing. And it just has a color palette that's very pastel-y, like dreamlike, heavenly fantasy dream. Hold on, I'm a little chilly in here. I wanted to dress nice, and then I was like, oh my god, it's freezing in my house. Let's get a clear, honest message for Cancer. What do they need to know? What do they need to hear for their highest good? Always take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is for anyone with Cancer in their charts, so if you know your birth chart, your astrology chart, okay, these are all up, right? Good. If you know your astrology chart and you know you have Cancer in other placements, allow yourself to just focus in on those placements. Try not to think or dwell any further. Only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And let's get started here. Let's get those 3 main cards for Cancer. What is the collective of Cancer for anyone watching at any point in time? These are timeless readings, so if you want to watch these back at any point in time, you can find some advice in it. It could be for you. Let's say you need to tune out of the stream and you want to go watch it on YouTube like 2 months later and you're like, oh, this won't resonate. It could. You never know. Timeless readings are what they are. 3 cards for Cancer, please, and thank you. Clear, honest messages. Page of Wands, 9 of Pentacles. Hell. You, my friend, are on a path that can only be explained by this card, the Artist. And this is an extra Major Arcana card. I think it's like the actual like last card in the Major Arcana. And very beautiful card. Focus. I know he's a bit nude, but you can't see anything, Twitch. You are embarking on a whole new, I want to say, way of life for yourself. Oh, Cancer. There's a sense of like, you're just doing it. You're like sitting here like, yeah, I've been tending to these grapes, making this wine, making this fine ass wine. And people looking at you like, do you know how much good shit you got? Like, you could sell that bottle for not just like $100, but like $3,000 worth. And you're just kind of like sitting there like, well, yeah, but I kind of just wanted to like hang out for a second. I just wanted to chill with my grapes. Just wanted to chill with my homies, my what I mean by the grapes in this card, because there are literal grapes on a vine. It's very I want to say Greek kind of themed, or like Greek Roman mixture. I don't know how to, what kind of like era was that? I got public school education, and they were not too good at teaching us that stuff. They, yeah. Kind of want to go and, like, relearn a lot of history that I, like, probably didn't retain or just didn't, like, actually go through. Because there was a point where my knowledge of geography is completely, like, fucked up because we skipped over, not, like, skipped over it, it's, like, here's one worksheet. That's all you get for, like, a single country. To know every single country and where it's at. You get one worksheet for, like, a day. And then you're not supposed to give a fuck about it because you're supposed to understand the 50 states in the U.S., which is understandable. You should know where you, like, where everything is and where you live. But they just treated the rest of the world like, yeah, they can... We don't really need to learn this. You gotta learn your 50 states first. It's like, bitch, I don't even know where Hungary is, or Turkey. I generally know where they are, kind of. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me for the mistakes of my elders. I'm trying to fix it. I feel like some of y'all are, like, understanding the gold mine you sit on, but you are sitting here like, I just wanted to hang out with it. I just wanted to sit with my stuff. Just wanted to, like, appreciate it, you know? And I feel like there's also a level of naivety and in that of, like, oh, you just wanted to hang with it, but in the back of your mind, it's like, well, what if I did that one thing? What if I entered that one tournament or something like that? And it's like a certain ooh, ow. There's this sense of I'm gonna use an example of any kind of nerdy video game or card game tournament, and it's almost like it doesn't even have to be card game. There's like tabletop games like Warhammer that host tournaments, and doing it for fun, but all of your friends are like, dude, you could like win a fucking tournament. Like, you could just stomp on people. And funny enough, I know one of my roommates is a Cancer, and he plays Street Fighter. Mans could fucking just run everyone into the ground in a tournament. At least that's what I think. And he's a fucking his sun sign is a Cancer, so I just find that very funny. Because that's kind of like when I was getting that example, I'm like, like I hate to like bring that up, but it's like something that resonates so like close to the reading, and it's like it's an easy example for me to give, other than coming up with something that's like completely I have to take like 10 minutes to think of. Sometimes it's better to just go with the flow. And I think that's something part of y'all are following, and I feel like some of y'all are focusing too much on that dream part of it, because there's a sense of wait, turn it this way. That tree in the back is like, oh, that's the dream, that's the sustainability, the life force. But there's also that castle in the background, and it gave me this like idea of building a sustainable home. And I think that's a big thing you want out of this. Like, you want to be able to follow this thing while also not losing the boards that hold up the vines of the fruits, the structure that holds up the fruit that bears. And this metaphor of like the fruit in this card is like the things that keep you sustaining and stable in life. And that could literally just mean like any little thing. Like, okay, you go to work and you're tired, but you know, you fill yourself up with good stuff, and maybe you like work out for a little bit, but you don't push yourself because you want to like give yourself some good entertainment and have a good time. And it's like that's you actively putting you going out and working and putting in that effort is you watering these plants, and then you being able to use kind of this energy into, I want to say, hold on, let me find the right words. Let's say the metaphor of watering this plant is like the water isn't easy to get. You spent like days getting like gallons of water, and only like maybe 5 gallons or so. So now you're like, okay, I gotta use this sparingly and making sure that each plant gets like just enough of water, and then knowing that in the future you are gonna be able to eat all these grapes, however many you want, because they're all gonna be bearing fruit, and you know you can eat as many as you want because you have a boatload to make wine with, and that you've stored away and made wine with a bunch of things. So it's like, it's not just these plants, this metaphorical plant in the card, these things that you have that you, little things, like some people find yoga is relaxing to them, but other people, like my boyfriend, he finds video games to just kind of like sit there and like, all right, I'm completing little things, completing little quests, and then all right, let's just go about my day. It's like everyone has their thing that kind of like keeps them relaxed. Me, if I get up and do something and I clean my space, that just makes me feel like, oh, I can breathe and I just feel good. And I feel like that's the little small act of eating a grape. But the other part that I think is wanting to be focused on, and what people are looking at you like, you got a truckload, a semi truckload full of aged wine that you could sell for not even like average price. Like you could like top shelf type shit, you know? And I think this is the thing that's like not, it's the things that like aren't being shown or aren't being shown on this card that it's really pulling me to, because it's like almost from the outside looking in, and I feel like you are looking at yourself like this and forgetting all of those ideas you had about the reserves. The little extra like, oh, I got some stuff here that's like I've built for a very long time. And it doesn't even have to be like a material thing, because when I was talking about my roommate and him playing Street Fighter, like that's just knowledge and skill. Like you could have the abundance of knowledge and skill, and putting that into this Eight of Wands, I feel like leads you to this artist energy. And I want to clarify. Let's clarify. Let's clarify. Oh, I can't really see that. It's okay. I'll put it over here. I want you guys to see the cards. That's alright. At least you can see me putting them down. The Page of Wands is a very, like, this is what I can sort of teach you guys about tarot of, this is where you're starting from. This is a starting point. This gives me an indication of everything that has, like, it's almost like starting a quest and looking at your entire inventory before you start the quest. This is kind of like what this card gives me. This Page of Wands is a very like innocent and it's almost naive card, but right now it's not naive in a bad way. It's naive in you're a little shy about your own power. You're a little bit shy about how you want to handle yourself when it comes to your own power, because you see a lot of potential in yourself. Don't get me wrong, you genuinely see potential in yourself. And I feel like the biggest help for you in all of this has been everyone by your side. I feel like you have abundance of, in the sense of, you may not have like everyone in the world telling you you're amazing at this one thing, but you may have the people who tell you, and when they say it, it feels super genuine and it trumps every other bad shit everyone else has said. Hold on to that. And don't forget to practice things that help you relax. I want to say that for everyone, because the astrology right now is very fucky. So if you have any like calm meditative practices, then I suggest doing them, because it is a weird fucky time. And I just saw someone put something in the chat, but I don't like looking at the chat. Just a little disclaimer. I didn't put that in my chat at the top of it, but a disclaimer, I try and stay focused on the readings. And let me see. Okay, the music's not too loud. Alright. Actually, if it does get too loud, let me know. Because I have it playing, like, through the microphone, so it may be, like, a tad bit louder than what I'm seeing. But I know the low tones make it look like the music's loud. So, we pulled 3 cards. We're gonna clarify each card. This is the bottom of the deck energy, so we shall hold on. Sorry, my tarot deck wants to talk shit. Not about Cancer. You know what we're here to talk about. I also use this tarot deck for a very specific deity. So whenever I feel called to pull from the Crow Tarot, there's a little more oomph in it. And it's not like every single time I pull from this deck is going to be an exact message from this deity, because I treat deities like human beings, and I basically treat them how I would want to treat another person. So I treat them with respect. And also, I'd like to not get smited by some cosmic force. Thank you. Thank you very much. Page of Wands. I know we discussed that this is kind of just like a starting point, but what can help rethink this card? What else haven't we discussed about the Page of Wands? Because I feel like when it comes to cards that are starting points, there's not much to be clarified, but at the same time, this is where we can kind of like flip everything on its head and maybe find even like we found the gold in the jackpot, but maybe there was a single diamond in that gold pile, and you wouldn't have found it if you didn't think to just look through these things, turn things on their head. I see the deeper level we're getting to. The Hierophant is out here, and just to clarify, the Hierophant is very much, when it comes to like teaching, knowledge, fulfillment in education, there's also a sense of committing yourself, not only to just like knowledge or educating yourself, but like just that act of commitment. Because there's two sides to, I guess, wanting to learn that the Hierophant shows. It always shows two students, and I'll show you this card because it's two crows. The Hierophant usually talks about how one of the students is a little apprehensive in the like, well, I have nowhere else to go, so I guess I'll have to go here and see what I get out of it. And the other one is like, no, like, I'm fully committing my whole person to this, like my whole soul and just everything to enlighten thyself, to learn, to understand, to follow this true path of committing to yourself, I want to say. Not only yourself, but like the path you want for yourself. And I think there's a big thing of the Page of Swords came out here after the Hierophant, and all I can think about is like, damn, that bird will be a lot more comfier if it was holding that sword by the handle. I don't think holding that shit by the blade is too comfy. And I think that's kind of where you're at in life. You're feeling like you're holding up your life by a blade. But the words that instantly came to me after that was like, it doesn't have to be that way. It really doesn't. But it's all what you choose to do with yourself. Need another card for this Page of Wands. Clarifying the Page of Wands. Last card, please. I don't know why you feel like this dream of yours is so far away when it's literally in front of your face. And I think this is the perspective right now. You see all that land as like, oh, it's dry and barren and nothing can survive out there. And it's like, you don't know that. You don't know that unless you try. So, back to this metaphor of entering, like, let's say you have skills in something and you want to enter a tournament or a competition or just a contest, like a drawing contest, painting contest, silly things like cosplay contests, and you feel like you aren't that great in it. It's like, just enter. Just try and enter. Because you don't know what's going to happen if you don't try. You will never understand the outcome. You can sit there and predict and assume all you want, but you will never truly know if you failed or you succeeded. So would you rather know, or would you rather live assuming everything is just going to turn out how you expect it to turn out, kind of a thing? Because if that's what you want, then you're going to keep making the choices to not enter into the things that you want to enter into. And life and the universe sitting here like, this isn't what you wanted, and you know what you wanted, because this is what you wanted. It's showing you in your mind, and I feel like it's been coming up a lot in your mind of, this is what you wanted. You have all this free open space to work with here, and you don't even need to see it as dry and barren, because it's a metaphor. It's not dry and barren unless you bring water to it and actually see it is fertile soil underneath, and it just needed some actual, like, hydration. Because one funny thing, I saw some cool things in Africa, and I believe parts of the Sahara Desert, because I know they have different deserts out there. Either way, they were having really big problems with drought, and they dug these, like, holes, so when the rain would come in, it would catch all the rainwater, and they would just let it sit there and, like, algae up and, like, pretty much just soak up in the water, and over time it actually brought vegetation to the land. So it's almost rethinking how you can build off of just open opportunity. You are working with a blank canvas here. You have every paint available, and you are the most skilled painter out there, and you're sitting there being like, I can't work with this. Because it's not my exact, it's not this, and it's not, and I gotta do this, and it's like, maybe it's not even a canvas at that point, because sometimes you have to build a canvas. Like, people will literally, like, build their own canvases and, like, re-stretch them and stuff, because that's the part that you paint on is, like, stretched out onto those boards. And it's like, oh, I don't want to take the time to build the canvas, but you know how to build one. So if you want the path to that freedom I feel like you want in your heart, it's like the universe is sitting here, why aren't you choosing to pick up that staple gun and those little bits of wood, stretch the canvas out, and boom, now you can start painting. Oh, well, I don't have any water. Step one. Just start with step one. I don't have any water for my brushes. There's this sense of, like, just starting somewhere is going to be the best advice for you this whole, like, time, or just at this moment, until you see, I think, the results of your actions. I feel like a lot of you really want to see how the outcome is before the actual outcome. They're like, oh, well, I'll do this if it works out. But if it doesn't work out, it's like you want to know whether it's going to work out or not. It's like, you can't know. It's the whole point of life. The only way we can assure ourselves is with these silly little cards. And they're not that silly, because they're telling you, this 10 of Cups, stable happiness with yourself and the life you choose to live for yourself. But that's the part. The life you choose to live for yourself. If you don't choose anything, Have you made a choice yet? Oh, okay. No, hold on all those things that Cancer's trying to manifest. Just pack it up. Yeah, no, we're probably gonna have to put it in storage. They're just not moving. They're not making any choices, so we can't do anything. Now I say the universe because it's almost like, think about karma. The age-old belief of karma, I believe, began in India? Somewhere in India is where karma was first, like the concept of it was, oh Lord. Hello. That's wild. Okay. Eek. Dropping all my cards. Do a little this. Move on to Nine of Pentacles. What I was saying about karma is understanding that, like, oh, you get what you get kind of a thing. Like, you get what you give. So apply that sense to, like, the good things in life and the good things that you want to bring into your life. The Moon. The Moon is a card that always is going to talk about things that maybe have been put in the holy hells of back burners in our minds. Like, when you put something, oh, I'm just gonna put that on the back burner in my mind, just keep that noted. And oh yeah, that's a thing that I kind of want to think about, but not right now. We'll focus on that and deal with that, process that emotion later. And then the more and more you start putting off, the more that life and the universe is going to show you, hey, the moon is here to stay. The moon is here to shed light on not the bad things. I think there's a big sense of some of you are scared that you are trying to focus and understand and process things, and you have to deal with the bad stuff that you, like, I want to say, you know, is on your mind, but it's like, oh, I have to deal with this now. This is what the tarot reading's saying. It's like, no, this is still all about, like, the reserves that you have. And in the sense of knowledge, skill, talent, genuine, like, material reserves of something that you've just built over the years, like, just handmade things, whether it's art, whether it's, like, I don't know, Warhammer minis, D&D stuff, nerdy stuff, whatever it is, beauty things, I don't know, whatever you're into. Do you see that? Do you see how that beautifully, gracefully just floated? This Emperor's card feels so, like, light. Oh my god. You feel like all that is destined for you is dry and barrenness, but the fruitfulness of your mind can create and bear the best fruit that anyone has ever fucking made. And it's in the sense of, oh, you think all that's out there for you is just stagnation, no opportunity. But when you put yourself out there, like, the things you have in your mind, I feel like need to be put out into the world. But not in a sense of, like, oh, you gotta put yourself out there in your field or whatever you're trying to do. It's put yourself out there for yourself. those things that you actively want to do, like when I was making the metaphor of like you want to paint, but you have to build the canvas and you don't feel like doing that, but fuck it, build the canvas. Build the canvas. Just start. And then you'll maybe find it easier to, hey, you worked on that painting, that you built the canvas and you finally did a painting. You could sell that painting for probably $1,000. And then get canvases that are already pre-built and not have to build it anymore. I think this is a sense of understanding how your ideas can bring, when they are brought to light, the moon is here being like, hey, you gotta focus on you here. This is you casting that shadow on the moon, trying to be like, don't show me all the cool things about myself. I can't do that. I'm not cool. I want you to know, Cancer. Everyone. Unless, listen, if you are a true, like, aligned with yourself and in your intuition kind of Cancer sun sign, everyone loves Cancers. Everyone. Every sign out there does not have that much beef with Cancer. The only people that probably have beef with Cancer is Scorpio, but they don't even have beef. They just don't want to deal with your emotions. But that's Scorpio. And the Scorpions on the moon. Anyway, sorry, I was being stupid. There's a sense of, like, reminding yourself that you aren't forgotten when it comes to, like, the cool things that you can do, you know? Sorry, it's a wee bit chilly in here. And there's this big sense to not have forgotten yourself in the process. What else does Cancer need to hear for their highest good? Hello. Let's see what that other card was. Ooh. So, since 2 cards came out, I'm going to take both of them as the bottom of the deck energy. We have 2 of Wands and the Hangman. I'm just going to kind of, like, stick them like that so I can see. The Hangman purposely puts himself in a limbo kind of a state to essentially find a new perspective. And to clarify the 9 of Pentacles, which is this, oh, I only have this little bit of reserves or these little bit of skills here and there, and I could just, you know, enjoy it like this, and it's like, you can enjoy these little bits of grapes, and it's like, what if you enjoyed that aged wine that's been in there for like 300 million gazillion years, it feels like. And clarifying that card is the Moon, the Empress, the Chariot, all 3 major arcanas out here, and you have 6 major arcanas currently showing face, but 5 total in like the reading. I'm gonna shuffle those 1 cards back into the other. Or is that what you're trying to say? Ah, okay. Okay, I see. I sees. Yes, no, maybe, yeah. Okay. So these 2 popped out, and this technically was the back of the deck, which is the King of Wands. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 major arcana coming out here to scream and yell and nicely in your face, you are amazing, focus on you and all the cool things that you can do, and just fucking do it. Please. We're waiting, Cancer. And it's not like you have fans waiting to just, like, wait for you to do all the work. It's like they want to help you on this journey. They want to guide you and even enjoy the journey of the hard work that it takes to get there, because you're not alone in this. You have never been alone in this. And I want you to say to yourself, if you feel alone, when was the last time you just asked about just checking in with your friends? And like, hey, like, we good, or are you good? And they'll be like, yeah, are you good? And it's like, find those few friends that you trust, okay? There's nothing wrong with opening up to them. And I feel like it needs to be in like a true little small bit of a vulnerable sense of just truly being honest and like laying it all on the table. Because I feel like this is where people are truly going to be thankful, because I think people want to help and maybe have asked for help, or not, maybe have asked and offered to help you, but you haven't been sure of where you were going with this Chariot card, so people can't really move and help you move your Chariot if they don't know where you want to move it to, you know? Like, it's kind of that teamwork sense of, if you want to go somewhere, work with the people at hand. And also, if you aren't sure of where you're going, that's the step that needs to be solved right now. Because this Empress card is an energy that can take these ideas anywhere. You have the seeds to bear fruit anywhere. And I think this is truly the enlightening and overtaking thing in your mind, because the Eight of Wands is all about rushing ideas, and sometimes even like signs from the universe kind of a thing. But a lot of it is like speed and feeling like you don't have the agility to move quickly on these things, and it's like, you don't need to move that quickly, but you just need to acknowledge it as a path you can take. I think this biggest thing here is, I hate to say, you sitting on your ass about your dreams, even if they're just small ones. You can't be sitting on your butt. You don't deserve that, Cancer. And people are literally trying to help you have this dream of yours. And I want to say, not get caught in a loop, not get caught in this limbo state. Finding a way out of this hangman state and actually gaining a new perspective on the way out. Because the whole point of the hangman, once he comes down from that tree, there is this new perspective that is gained on life. That's the thing I feel like you've been looking for, but it's been right in your face this whole time. You know, you are sitting here as this King of Wands, this very masculine energy with your ideas. You're able to create, you understand your emotions, but you just sit there. And okay, you're gonna let other people wear your crown for you? I don't think so. Not even other people, just like, let it just sit there. It's almost like the crow is the universe, like, waiting to, like, put this crown back on your head to truly understand that power of yours, but you haven't asked the crow, hey, give me my crown back. You're just like, okay. There is a big, big sense to call your energy back to yourself at this moment in time. And if you guys aren't sure what I mean by that, in a spiritual sense, we give and put our energy into a lot of things. And for me, you could say, like, I put a lot of energy into this reading. But when it comes to other people and them essentially, like, when you build a relationship with people, like, the reason I don't talk to my mom is for a lot of traumatic reasons, but when I stopped talking to her, I had to really, like, shift perspective on, she took a lot of my energy because I gave it to her. Like, giving her my time and my effort and stuff, and my love. Give me kisses. And when you call your energy back to yourself, all that energy you gave to that other person in that past time, just, even if you're just needing to pretend, Just imagine it. Just for a second. Just imagine yourself gaining that energy back and just seeing how you feel afterwards. Because at the end of this reading, we have strength. And I got eggs and bacon. And pankake. You're the bestest. I think we were probably going to take a break. And I didn't know how many signs I was going to get through during this stream. But I do want to eat. Because I did not eat anything. Because I wasn't hungry just yet. And I was going to make something.
Eat, woman.
I was going to make something.
Getting you up for.
Oh, thank you. The end of this reading, Cancer, is literally follow your heart, follow your passion, because you don't know what it can do for you. You don't know how, like, good this knowledge and this skill you have is. Sorry, my stuff almost fell over. And I think the big thing needing to be focused on is where your strength comes from and where you've put your strength into things that you may need to call your energy back to. You're the bestest. You know me so well. So, I think we are going to end it here. Because I think that's all I have for you. All you need to know is you are not alone. You have people that are willing to help you in this journey to choose yourself and choose the things that you want. Even if it's just the small little bit, and even if it's just the small little bit of acknowledging the cool shit that you have inside your head or inside your mind, body, heart, whatever the fuck you got, skills, materials, or like genuine talent at something. You have something that you've just built for a long time, and I know you may feel like it's not anything that cool, but I feel like you really need to understand that it is very, very, very cool. So, I think I may go live a bit later, or we will end here. And yeah. That's all I have for you, Cancer. So, give me 1 second while I shift gears here. Thank you for watching. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day or night, wherever they are on this beautiful planet Earth of ours. If you're watching live, we are probably going to be ending soon, so just stay tuned, because I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm probably just going to end stream and maybe go live later. We'll see. So, anyway, thank you all, and stay tuned.